Hello, Leo. I warmly welcome you to SHARO'N's Tarot. I'm really happy to have you here sharing this moment with me. Thank you for your energy, your trust, and for being part of this space. Remember that you are the one who creates your path. You have the power to build the future you desire. Take only what resonates with you in this reading, and simply let the rest flow without forcing it. This is a general reading, so you can watch it whenever you feel guided to. If you wish, you can also complement it with your rising sign or your moon sign for a more complete guidance. Now we are going to connect with the energy of the moment and receive the messages that your guides, your intuition, or your ancestors want to share with you, according to what you are going through, thinking, or feeling right now. Your first card is the Queen of Wands, and this energy has a lot to do with you right now. You also have the World card and the High Priestess. Let's take a closer look at what the High Priestess is referring to. You also have the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. Well, Leo, the first thing I see is that things are beginning to shift in your favor. The Queen of Wands speaks directly about you, your abilities, what you are capable of doing at this moment, the decisions that are within your control, and everything that depends entirely on you. There is an action, a project, a situation, or something important that you are able to carry out. And on top of that, you have already decided that you are going to do it. The cards show that thanks to that determination and the step you are about to take, you will finally achieve what you have been looking for. The World card indicates that, overall, many of your responsibilities or goals are going to end successfully. You are going to feel that you accomplished something important, that you closed a cycle, that you completed a significant chapter in your life. On a personal level, this feels like a huge sense of satisfaction, a major achievement, regardless of whether other people see it as something enormous or not. For you, it will hold a lot of value and meaning. This card can also represent leaving behind a difficult emotional phase, such as a period of sadness, emotional exhaustion, or anxiety. It is as if you are finally closing the door on something heavy in your life. It can also symbolize adding something into your life that you genuinely desire, and that you know is actually within your reach. As I mentioned before, this is something that depends on you and something you know you are fully capable of making happen. So this has to do with something you have already decided on or a situation that you know sooner or later you are going to face. It feels as though deep inside, you have already made up your mind to go after it. The World card also shows that the energies of the universe, both visible and invisible, will be supporting you. This is an incredibly powerful card, filled with symbolism, expansion, and fulfillment. That is why I feel it carries a lot of importance in your reading. Honestly, I sense that you are going to have luck, protection, and opportunities wherever you choose to move forward, or in anything you decide to transform. In addition to that, this card suggests that many people will be watching you or paying attention to you, but in a positive way. If you already know that you are about to do something that could attract attention, such as posting something on social media, presenting a project, starting something new, or taking a major step, I see that you could be about to experience a very memorable moment, something that might even become a topic of conversation. And deep down, you already feel that this is going to happen. The World card confirms that yes, many people will notice you or talk about you, but mostly in a positive light. Of course, as always, some people will like it more than others, but the important thing is that the majority will view positively what you are about to achieve, reveal, or build. Especially if it is something different, something bigger than usual, or something that stands out from the ordinary. This card also tells me that regardless of what other people are doing, you are still going to shine and stand out. And honestly, I see a great deal of success surrounding you. Now, regarding what you already know you are going to face, the cards show that at times it may feel overwhelming or emotionally heavy. Sometimes when a person has too many things on their mind, it is natural to feel nervous, anxious, or pressured. There is some of that energy here. There is worry and emotional tension, but at the same time, I see tremendous potential. And the reason is because the World card speaks about success on a grand scale. Massive success. It is the most expansive and powerful card in the tarot. Then there is something else appearing, something connected to the future, though not necessarily the immediate future. First, I see you resolving practical situations, responsibilities, or matters that you already know are pending. The Queen of Wands together with the World card show a situation that is fairly predictable. In other words, something you already know you are going to face and overcome. And it is exactly there where growth, positive closure, and well-being appear. But then another type of energy appears, one that is much more emotional and intuitive, connected to the future you imagine for yourself. It is like when someone says, "This is how I want to see myself several months from now," or "This is what I want to build later on." The High Priestess shows that you keep many of those thoughts and worries to yourself. There are inner fears related to the future, and in fact, you worry a great deal about certain things. The Nine of Swords confirms that. It seems that for you, it is easy to understand that there are achievable goals and realistic possibilities, but once you begin thinking too far ahead, you become stressed, mentally overwhelmed, or even lose sleep over it. However, the cards indicate that many of those difficult situations you fear for the future could eventually stabilize. Even if there is currently something putting your plans or future peace of mind at risk, I see that situation stopping its downward spiral and becoming more stable. It is like when something that seemed to be getting worse suddenly starts slowing down, or when a person or circumstance that had been negatively affecting you loses strength or loses interest in continuing to harm you. Because of that, your plans begin to feel possible again, and things slowly start improving once more. I also sense that you have asked the universe to make certain future situations easier for you, or even to remove them entirely. And the cards show that this could very well happen. It feels as though you made a deep request regarding something that currently feels outside of your control. The cards indicate that regarding this situation, you will end up being okay. You are going to feel happy and emotionally stable. You will have many of the resources you already know you are capable of obtaining. But in addition to that, new opportunities and blessings will appear that you cannot even imagine right now. Because as time passes, new possibilities and unexpected good things always emerge. So not only will you achieve what you already envision, but you will also receive positive things that have not even appeared in your life yet. On the other hand, the Four of Wands represents support, companionship, and stability. There is a person who will extend a helping hand to you, someone who will truly stand by your side and support you. I feel that you are extremely responsible, which is very typical of a fixed sign like Leo, and many times you believe you have to solve everything on your own. But the cards say that it will not be that way. The Four of Wands shows someone who has been very loyal to you, and who will continue to be that way in the future. And even if right now you feel lonely, or you are genuinely going through a period of isolation because you do not have someone close to you, this card still brings reassurance. First, because it shows that you are going to be far more stable than you imagine. These are cards of peace, harmony, and security. In fact, the Four of Wands is also associated with celebrations, joy, and happy moments. And second, because it shows that later on, someone will walk beside you and accompany you emotionally. That is why the cards advise you to focus on the present. The present is the most valuable thing you have right now, because it is exactly what will build your future. One day at a time. One step at a time. Do not picture yourself losing or constantly imagine negative outcomes. Sometimes when things are not going the way we want in the present, the mind starts saying, "I am never going to achieve what I want later on. I am never going to have stability. I will never be able to buy what I want. Or I am never going to resolve this pending issue." And those thoughts are far more common than you think. Everyone experiences them at some point. But the reality is that things are built gradually, little by little. If you look back, you will realize that today you already have things in your life that you did not have before. And if you compare your current reality to where you were 5 years ago, you will probably notice important progress, even if you are not always fully aware of it. The cards show that your circumstances have improved, even if right now you cannot see it clearly. There are good things in your life now that once seemed impossible to you. And on top of that, if you think about it, many of the situations you resolved in the past ended up working out in completely different ways than you originally imagined. Because people always end up using the tools and opportunities that appear along the way. So apply that same logic to your future. The cards say there is no point in focusing on defeat, fear, or constant sadness. And there is something even more important. If you already know there is something you can do now to protect your future, then do it. Take care of your future self. As I always tell you, if you do not want to reach the future exhausted, sleep-deprived, or overwhelmed with stress, then start building healthier habits now. Rest better, sleep better, take care of your energy, focus on positive thoughts, and strengthen your spirituality. Take care of your spiritual side and stay firmly attached to what makes you feel good in relation to your beliefs. If from now on you feel that something is not working properly, take control of the situation and act in a practical way to fix it. I see that the universe is going to support you and have your back. It is also very possible, being honest and realistic, that some concern may appear. The Nine of Swords card together with the High Priestess shows me that you could start feeling some pressure, or the sensation that you have too many things to do. However, the cards also indicate that after that moment you recover again and get back on track. That is why I tell you that even if in the near future you feel anxious in private, at home or before going to sleep, you will still find a way to resolve it. That is the dynamic of life. One goes through worries, then gets out of them and keeps moving forward. The important thing is that each experience brings learning. Your cards also show that there will be someone on your side, a person willing to help you, support you, and understand you. If that person is already in your life, I feel that together you will be able to overcome some difficulty or crisis. It is important to talk, especially if something involving a loved one is worrying you, because this situation has the potential to stabilize or even bring something positive as a result of everything that has happened. At the bottom of the deck appears the Knight of Wands on your side. I see a lot of energy, strength, and vitality. Do not stop yourself or overthink things too much, because there are situations that simply require action. For example, if you have doubts about something, go and investigate and look for answers. If right now you do not know how to deal with an issue, look for someone who can guide you. And if one person does not help you, another one will appear. Movement and initiative are what will allow you to keep moving forward. This is something very characteristic of you. You are a fire sign, and the Knight of Wands represents you very well. That is why I feel that nothing will be able to stop you. This card also shows that sometimes you get very busy and want to solve everything quickly, which can make you feel a bit anxious. Even so, in the end you always manage to get things done in a positive way. In fact, I see that you are learning to handle both anxiety and your fast-paced way of acting much better. The Knight of Wands remains on your side, and also shows that someone could make a decision that ends up benefiting you greatly. Let's go a little deeper into this, Leo, to see what appears. The Ace of Wands comes out. This card indicates that someone may want to accompany you in a process, or that a change in someone else's life will directly benefit you. I also see it reflected in the Four of Wands. This person does not necessarily have to be someone you are romantically involved with. It could be a family member, a friend, or someone close to you with whom you have an important connection. What I clearly see is the intervention of someone who will help you move forward faster, whether through a proposal, support, or a new opportunity. The Six of Pentacles also appears. This speaks of a generous person, someone with good feelings who always brings something positive. It could even be someone who likes animals or who is constantly trying to help in some way. And together with the Judgment, I see that this person may give you an important idea or valuable advice. It is like when you talk to someone you trust and that person suddenly says, "Leo, you know what? We could do this." And that is exactly what is worth listening to and considering. The cards then show that this person who gives you trust and joy will be willing to support you in whatever you need. I also see that you have the ability to face whatever comes in the future. There is a matter that causes you anxiety, and it has to do with the end of a stage and the emptiness it leaves behind. It is like when you finish a job, submit it, and then you are left feeling uncertain because you do not know what comes next. If this situation resonates with you, if you feel that you are finishing a job, closing a stage, leaving something behind, or concluding something important, the best thing you can do is focus on ending that cycle in the best possible way. Enjoy the process, appreciate what you are delivering, and recognize everything you have achieved so far. The cards show that it will not take long before you discover what your next step will be. I see here that you may go from one job to another or switch from one activity to a different one. It is an interesting change, especially if this matches what you are currently experiencing. And if we talk about emotional or affective matters, It could also indicate that you helped someone a lot, and now you are letting go of that responsibility to focus on other things. There is something new waiting for you, something that is about to begin, and it does have the potential to happen. The Ace of Wands confirms that this new beginning can be realized. It is something different, renewing, and aligned with what you truly want to do. Let's draw more cards to see what else appears for Leo. I see that you could be organizing books, a shelf, or even decorative objects. It might be something related to your home, your work, or simply a daily activity. If this happens, take it as a coincidence or a synchronicity connected to this reading, because it appears as a small simple task within your routine. Now the Queen of Swords appears together with the Five of Wands. Here I see a very demanding person. Someone who constantly seeks perfection, or who has a strong character, because that attitude has worked for them in life. For many people watching this reading, it is a woman. She is not a bad person, she simply likes things done her way. It could be someone you are working with on a project, a family member you live with, or even someone temporary in your life. What I see is that the conflict comes from the fact that their personality is very demanding, or that you have not been able to agree on something. You want one thing and this person wants another. Even so, I do not feel that this will turn into something serious. The Five of Wands speaks more of minor tension and differences than of deep resentment. The Three of Pentacles shows a change in this person's attitude, and that both of you will eventually find middle ground. I also see that you will end up helping each other. The only complicated thing here is that, although this person is very responsible and efficient, they struggle with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not easy to develop, and I feel that this person is successful in what they do or likes to keep everything under control, but has difficulty managing anger, stress, or impulses. Even so, I do not see them as a bad person. In fact, they always end up collaborating, fulfilling their responsibilities, and supporting in some way. The issue is that sometimes they say things that are too harsh or too direct. And telling the truth does not necessarily mean expressing it in a hurtful way. You can communicate something important with kindness and empathy, offering solutions instead of just pointing out mistakes. I am telling you this simply so you can better understand who this person is and how they function. It is not about judging them, but about understanding them. Because even though they have a strong character, the cards show that they will also change their attitude. And you will too. Leo is a sign that, when happy, expresses a lot of joy and enthusiasm. That is why I feel that this situation can change quickly for the better. In reality, I do not see bad intentions here. The Magician together with the Hermit shows that this person will also fulfill what they promise. They are very responsible. If they tell you, Leo, I will do this, they will actually do it and then show you the results. The Eight of Swords indicates that the real issue for this person is mental confinement. They have too much work, very little time for enjoyment, and very little space to relax, and that ends up overwhelming their mind. In conclusion, this is what I see regarding this situation and this person. Everything ends up moving towards something better. More than a problem that remains fixed, it is a situation that transforms and evolves. And what you need to happen will most likely end up happening. If you are currently in a place living or interacting with someone who has a personality like this, as I was mentioning, someone very intelligent and very skilled, but at the same time with a lot of anger or a tendency to get stressed, that is what I am picking up. Being isolated stresses this person out, or they lack social interaction. The Hermit card shows exactly that. They need to talk to other people and open up more socially. I see that this person is going to be at least okay and stable. I feel that they will continue cooperating with you, but these are the true feelings of someone you have noticed can get quite stressed. Yes, I feel it is a woman. Then the cards also show me that if you are currently in a conflict, like you have to close a business deal, a sale, a purchase, or there is some situation where someone is making a complaint against you, and that person is partly right and you also know it, and that weighs on you emotionally. This is something that is going to be resolved. I feel the situation gets closed, but the only thing I see is that this person partly gets what they want, but they are not happy. And I also have to say that, because I see you as happier. I see you happier. Of course, your sign connects more with joy and enthusiasm. It is a fire sign. This person is more mental. They get things that work for them, but then they start overthinking again. So what I see is that you resolve a matter with someone like this, but that person is always stuck thinking about many things. If right now you have a colleague, a coworker, someone in your family, or even in your extended family or your partner's family, someone like this, I see that things between you will improve. At least there will be respect. But you need to understand that you cannot change someone's mind. A person's mind belongs to that person. Do not carry that burden or stress yourself out trying to help someone who does not allow themselves to be helped. That is the idea. It is like you want to help them, but that person is in their own world. The Justice card shows that any difficult situation will be resolved fairly. If you are going through any legal matter or something complicated in that area right now, I see that you have the upper hand. So yes, I see you resolving these circumstances in a very positive way. I am going to draw 2 or 3 more cards. The 9 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords. Look, Leo, when I ask about what is coming, the cards show money, stability, and calmness. Serenity is also money. When a person is calm and at peace, they are able to solve things and obtain the resources they need. I see that you are going to find peace and calm in your heart. You are going to focus on yourself, even if sometimes that is difficult when the environment is very hectic. But you will achieve it. The cards show peace in your heart. Enjoy what you know you should be enjoying. There are things in your life that are good, connect with that. And at the same time, detach from everything you know is temporary problems. I see you happy, I see you resting. The 4 of Swords shows time for yourself, time to do what you want. Do not feel guilty for not working all the time or studying all the time. Life is not about that. Life is about living, simply existing. Be happy with the time you have. Then I also see new purposes ahead, things you want to do that will indeed happen. The cards show it. And when I ask about someone else, I see there is a person who looks at you with very kind eyes. The 9 of Pentacles also shows me that there is someone who sees you in a very attractive way. It is someone you probably already know, you are aware of who it is. Or if not, the cards still show it. But I do see this person in your future. And if you are already with this person, if this is your partner, I see no conflict between you. What I do see is someone who truly likes you, appreciates you, and holds you in their heart in a very beautiful way. And if this person is not yet in your life, the cards still show that they will come or you will meet them. You just focus on your own path. This person is part of your destiny. I also see a more peaceful environment in your life overall. The King of Wands. In this deck, the King of Wands is depicted as a woman, because the author chose to represent kings as women, possibly as stages of maturity or development of a process. Yes, that is also valid. Everyone designs their deck as they wish. I interpret it in a neutral way. The King of Wands can be a man or a woman, but what I know is that this person, regardless of gender or who you are attracted to, will be by your side. This is a very compatible person for you, because even your sign has a strong connection with the King of Wands energy. This is the kind of person I see for you. It is this same person that appears here. And I do see someone who truly loves you, appreciates you, and holds you in their heart in a very beautiful way. And if this person is not here yet, the cards still show that they will arrive or you will meet them. You just focus on your life. This person is part of your destiny. And regarding signs, you have Cancer, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Your sign Leo also appears. Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra. Your sign Leo appears many times. Virgo also appears, Aries, and finally Gemini. These are the signs that repeat the most in your cards. They can help you identify people, either by their sun sign or rising sign. Thank you, Leo, for sharing this reading with me here at SHARO'N's Tarot. I hope these messages brought you clarity, guidance, or simply a little light to your path. Remember to keep only what resonates with you and release the rest with love. Trust your intuition, because it is always guiding you to where you need to be. If you enjoyed this reading, you can subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell to keep receiving more messages from the universe. I send you lots of beautiful energy, protection, and abundance. See you in the next video, and remember, nothing is a coincidence, everything arrives at the perfect time.